Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Wispin here. Welcome back to another video here on the Poke Central Network. So today's video is going to be a little bit different from the usual stuff we focus on, and today I want to really heavily focus on implementing a brand new gem system to the server. So gems are something that I've wanted to have here on the server for a pretty long time, and it's been a little bit of a struggle to get to this point, but I feel like now is a good time to finally implement them. Probably should have had them in at the launch of the map, but that's fine. You know what? It's better late than never. So these gems are going to be NPC gems. The reason for that is because player gems are a little bit too hard to actually manage with having 5 servers. I mean, right now there's 102 players online. Finding gem leaders isn't necessarily an issue with the amount of players. However, managing and maintaining all of the gems would become a huge hassle. So we're going to go with NPC gems, but I want to put a little bit of a twist on them because I feel like just having 8 NPCs lined up for you to fight, probably not the most enjoyable thing in the world. And I want it to be a little bit more of a progression system that you unlock over time as you play on the server. So we have this amazing spawn that was built by a build team called Spark. I'll actually link their Twitter down in the description so you can find them if you want to check them out. It's really incredible and I really love it, and it actually goes really well with the idea of having like a port with ships in it. So my idea for the gem system was to have another ship that you can go to, you can visit. That ship will have a captain, and that captain will be able to take you out to islands where all of the gems are. So there will be, let's just for now say 8 gems. So there would be 8 different islands that you could visit. However, the captain doesn't know the way to the gems. So you need to actually give him a map in order to unlock the gems. So basically, you'll need to purchase a map or find a map. So we'll have multiple different ways that you can actually unlock these maps. And then when you go and you actually activate the map, which would basically be you hold it in your inventory. So let's just get like a paper out. You right click with it and it will basically unlock the map for your character, and you'll be able to access that gem going forward. We'll have it so that the first gem is pretty easy to find, pretty easy to unlock, pretty cheap to buy the map to, and then consecutive gems, the second gem, third gem, fourth gem, all cost a little bit more to gain access to. And that way we can have more of a progression system. So you won't be able to just instantly join the server, have your friend give you a really good Pokemon, and wipe all the gems easily. It'll actually take a little bit of time and a little bit of money in order to actually unlock them all. So basically what I want to do is make this kind of a central thing at spawn. So I decided the best place to probably put it would be on the opposite side of the main spawn ship. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to copy this with World Edit. We're going to actually go ahead, flip it to the other direction, and we're going to try to paste it in over here somewhere and hopefully get it in about the right spot. All right, we got to move back this way, move down a little bit. I could do this a lot more mathematically, but I can't be bothered to do that. So we're just going to go with this. We'll work with it. And I think we'll have a second staircase kind of going off of this one that brings it lower in the water, because I don't think the second ship should be this big. I think it should be like a small little boat. All right, so we've made a little bit of progress here. We have the first set of docks in place. The way that it's going to work is basically you can come down here, and this first little set, right over here, there's going to be an NPC shopkeeper. He's going to be in a little kind of like shopping hut, which we actually have a few examples. Basically like one of these things right here. A little tent where he will actually sell you the different maps to access the different gems. Now, the first gem will cost some amount of coins, and the later gems will cost more and more coins the further you go along. And then you'll go ahead, you'll buy the maps from him, you'll activate those by right-clicking, and that will actually allow you to come down here, and there will be a smaller boat here, smaller than that ship, and there will be a captain that you can talk to, and he will take you to the gems as long as you have unlocked their map. So he needs to know the way. You give him the map basically, and then you can permanently travel back and forth between the gem and the spawn island here. I think it's a really cool setup. It's a good way to keep people from just going out and defeating all of the gems in one day. So if you defeat a gem, you'll get something like a 5% sell multiplier on Pokemon drops. So every time you defeat a Pokemon, they drop different items like pearls and relics and all these different things that can be sold for money. And if you actually work your way through the gem leaders, you'll get a pretty significant boost because you'll get something like 5%. I can't guarantee that's the final number we'll go with. because I'm not sure how many gems we're actually going to have. We might do the full 18, one for every type, or we might just go with the normal 8 that are in the main series games. But either way, you'll get a certain percentage cell multiplier for all of your Pokemon drops the higher you go. So it's a really good reward because if you are already selling Pokemon drops, then defeating the gym leaders will give you a permanent boost to the amount of money you can make from selling those drops. So say we go with 5% and we go with 8 gems, that's 40% extra every time you sell a Pokemon drop, which is actually a pretty significant amount over time. So what I need to do now is actually design both of their menu systems. So when you talk to the NPC, it is going to open up basically what's called a chess GUI, graphical user interface. And that is essentially, if we look at something like a GTS, that is this menu here. Or if we do daycare, that's this menu here. We need to design something like that for both the NPC map shop as well as the gym travel NPC. All right, so here we have a little bit of the back end. This is using a plugin called Virtual Chest. It is a plugin for the Sponge API, basically SpongeForge. If you want to look it up, if you're looking into how to make something like this, that is the plugin that we use to create this GUI in particular. Not all the GUIs on the server are the same. Some are actually made by our developer. They're made in-house, not with this plugin, but because I don't actually code myself, this is what I use, and it actually works out pretty well. So I have a basic layout here. This should basically just have a menu that will open up. Actually, we don't need that there, but this should basically just open up a menu that will have just the Boulder badge map. All right, so after a little bit more of some totally brain-dead configuring, not very enjoyable stuff, but at least it gets the job done, we have all of the maps in place. So I actually need to update that. I need to change the color of the Earth badge. But other than that, it looks like that one's also missing Rainbow. Marsh also, I missed like every other one. Not sure what happened there. But that's an easy fix, just changing colors. But all of these are in here, and they are functional buttons. So that means we can add a command to them that will actually run when you click them. So it's pretty basic. Kit, create Boulder map. And then we need to add a command that will actually give the paper, the map, to the player when they redeem the kit. So kit, I think it's kit command add Boulder map Poke Crates give player. I think this is the right command. I always get this a little bit mixed up. Poke Crates give player, I believe Boulder map. And now if we do kit Boulder map, we actually get the map, as you can see, which is really cool. And then if we go ahead and right click the map, actually, you know what? Let's get rid of these. So now we actually need to set the cost. So kit set cost Boulder map 10,000. We can set it to one time because we only want people to be able to purchase this a single time. So true. We don't want people to really see the kit when it's on their list, so we're going to hide it from displaying and then toggle redeem message because we don't want it to say anything when they make the purchase. We want it to just give them the map, and that is all. So we do not need it to notify them when they redeem the kit. That should be all the settings, pretty much good to go. And if we go into the NPC now and we click where it says this, it will actually purchase the map for 10,000 coins. If you don't have enough money, it will not allow you to purchase it. If you do have the 10,000, it will take that in exchange for the map. It'll provide you with this item, which we can actually go ahead and right click, and it will say, Poke Gems, you have unlocked access to Boulder Island. So then we're going to basically just repeat that entire process to set up this NPC, which will have different buttons to actually warp to the different islands. So, for example, once you unlock the map, you click here, it'll teleport you to Boulder Island. But we're not going to get into that in this video because it's really repetitive and basically the same thing we just did with this guy up here, which is actually pretty much complete now. It's fully functional, it's working as intended, and there's not much more we have to do there. However, we do have one thing we need to wait on, which is the player gems. So by that, I mean the gems that players are creating for the build contest. If you guys don't know, we are currently running a build contest here on the server. The theme of the build contest is Pokemon gems. So if you want more information on that, how you can win, all of that different stuff, make sure to go ahead and check the description down below. There will be a link to a video that talks a little bit more about that. There are prizes, including a choice of a legendary Pokemon, as well as getting your gem chosen as one of the official server gems here on the server. But because we don't actually have those builds yet, I can't really get too much further into setting up this system. But the whole point of this video was to, number one, showcase a little bit of what goes into making something like this, so that maybe some of you guys will take inspiration from it, set up your own servers, use some of the plugins that I used here, and create your own experiences that are really cool for players to interact with. But number two, to basically just say, hey guys, we're setting up gems. I need your help. Make sure you enter the build contest because we need those gem builds in order to get this whole system set up. So hopefully you found it a little bit interesting. If you did, make sure to go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I've never really made a video like this before, but if you're interested in seeing more behind the scenes of the different server stuff, maybe I could showcase setting up an event or something like that, let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know by leaving a like on the video. But with that being said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.